Hello and welcome to this very special VGC podcast, live from London, Ontario, Canada. I'm joined by Mr. Ben Starr.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
It's been a long time.
It has.
Has it been a long time?
Not really.
No.
I think we talk a lot, and so it's the time between us actually meeting is lessened.
Yeah.
Almost, it feels like, because we're almost in constant contact. You won't stop messaging me in the middle of the night.
It's not the middle of the night to me, just because you're jet setting all over the place.
True, actually.
I have a job, I have a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
which is why I've swanned off to Canada for a couple of days.
I have a job.
Yeah. You have many jobs.
I do have many jobs. One of them is this.
Yeah. full-time VGC podcast guest. It's funny because usually when I'm getting guests for the podcast, I'm like, oh, what level of kind of light-hearted banter will we have?
Yeah.
And recently, for my birthday, you called me some very bad words, so
I did, yeah.
we're already at the point where we can just kind of.
I'm really sorry for doing that.
Oh, it made me laugh.
It was my idea.
Yeah. Don't blame anyone else. Certainly
Yeah.
not Miss Lucy James.
A lot of people don't like that word.
Yeah.
I think that word is very funny.
Oh, massively. Especially in this part of the world, North America, they're very kind of sensitive to it.
And I just think trying to describe to anyone in North America that it is kind of a term of endearment is difficult. But
yeah, the fact that it made me like smile and I was like, I had a bit of a cheeser when you said it. Like, I think it works as a birthday greeting from two people who you thought were your close friends. But,
yeah. In fact, turned out to be mortal enemies.
Mortal enemies. That's a bit harsh. Well, Ben, why are we out here? What are we out here for?
We're out here for TennoCon 2024.
Yeah.
Celebrating all things Warframe.
Warframe 1999. Yeah.
Yes.
Based on the Charlie XCX song of the same name.
It's exactly that.
She's a new skin in the game.
Yeah.
So.
And she couldn't be here, unfortunately, so you're stuck with me.
Yeah. Very much the.
Can we hear the police outside?
That's actually Digital Extremes coming to
arrest
for
us, yeah.
Making that joke about Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
And we're very much the Charlie XCX and Troy Sivan of the games industry.
That's what everyone says, but which one's which?
Find out at the end of the show.
Yeah,
Warframe 1999. You play the main man.
I do.
How long have you been involved in the project?
I think I remember that Reb Ford.
Shout out
Reb Ford. We were talking kind of middle to end of last year, and just chatting like friends and mates, just nerding out about video games. And then this opportunity came around, and she said, "Would you be interested in potentially reading for this part?" They still want us.
Yeah, London's it's just like real London, full of crime. Don't worry about it; it won't get picked up.
At home, they're going, "What are they talking about?" Honestly, when I tell you, they were really loud. No, but Reb came to me and said, "There's this part for this game that I'm working on, Warframe 1999. Would you like to read for it?" And I did. And she said, "Would you like to play this part?" And I said, "I would. That's really cool." And so I would say maybe September, October of last year.
Oh, really? That's quicker than I expected.
Yeah, but it's been such a collaborative process. It's been so lovely getting to kind of talk about this character, work through this character as it kind of evolves over time. And I'm kind of really pleased with how he came out so far. Like, I think it's really neat. I'm always nervous when you start a new job. You think, actually, am I really bad? You just forget. You go, can I do this? And you want to deliver the best possible thing. If someone trusts you to say, we would like you to be, I think as a voice actor, I use the word custodian a lot. I feel like video game actors are custodians of characters.
Yeah.
We are the tip of the spear, or the tip of a very large iceberg of all these people that have gone into creating and designing the lore and the way that these characters look. There is a huge responsibility, and I don't want to turn up and just make him sound rubbish.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially in a situation where, like, Warframe, as Reb mentioned last night, not a game that's known for an overwhelming amount of voice acting, and this kind of expansion really, it puts that full frontal. It's got a really strong cast, so it's a big moment.
Yeah, it was great actually, because when I first announced that I was in it, we were at the Game Awards. It was Neil Newbon and I were there, and we were kind of talking about our involvement in it, and Reb really went, I really want to kind of work with cool voice actors. I want to work with cool video game actors, and she has assembled an amazing cast of people whose work I greatly admire, and colleagues and friends of mine who are now part of this whole thing, because people want to work for Digital Extremes because they are so cool. You can even see the atmosphere here. It's so friendly. Everyone's so nice, but also they just want to celebrate and involve their actors and their creatives as much as possible. And I think that is one of the great strengths, is they treat their community and they treat their employees or actors in this incredibly welcoming, warming way that I've just had the nicest time. I'm friends with most of the people here more than I am colleagues, and it's just a really neat thing to be a part of.
I think that's kind of testament to something like TennoCon, because I think for people that aren't really into Warframe or maybe played it a long time ago, it might come as a bit of a surprise. It was this like thriving convention for it every single year, and then you come here and it's just like the people are the hardest of the hardcore. Like the cheers in the room last night when like minuscule level balance changes and announcements were made. It was like this is great. This is like a thriving community that is really embraced and kind of nurtured by the developers. I don't think Warframe would be kind of what it is without that.
They are doing updates constantly. It's incredible to see, and substantial updates. And you can see it. You can see the machine when you're here in London. They're a massive team who are constantly working all of the time, and they understand that this is an audience that want to be serviced and they want to be rewarded for the amount of time that they put in. And when you have such a loyal audience, they know what they want to do. And 1999 was one small aspect of this kind of giant machine. And they care about their audience, and the audience in kind give that back. It's very, very cyclical. The fact that they're selling out tickets to a convention of over 3,000 people coming to every single year. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people watching online. People love this game because they recognize that this game loves them. And it's not trying to take them for a ride. It listens to its audience. It feels collaborative. When someone sticks their hand up, I was at PAX East with them earlier this year, and the dev stream that we did there, you could feel that the people asking the questions, the really kind of in the weeds questions that I was sitting there going, I have no idea what you're asking, because this is a veteran of 10 years asking these questions, and Reb and Megan were like, yep, this and this, and they were reactive to it and they were listening, and I guarantee you that those questions did not go unheard. They listen to it, they adapt, and they change and see what their audience want. And I've also felt that with things that I've said about what I feel about the project. I don't feel like I'm just having some kind of faceless executive not listen to what it is that I want to do. I feel like I'm genuinely being heard. Whether it's a good idea or not is another thing. But I think that's what their audience recognizes, that every single person has the opportunity to have access to these people and feel like they can contribute to the future of this franchise.
Obviously, you just mentioned that they're like really rabid fan base, really involved. You've just come off of obviously half a decade or 40 years of being so closely involved with Final Fantasy 16, and that's a similar situation. Like, you go to any event and people are coming up to you and you're wanting to talk to you about the game. I feel like you're in quite a unique position to have done like 2 of them on the bounce. Did you expect that to be such a big part of your career?
No, I really didn't. I didn't really expect any of this. My career hasn't been planned. It's really reactive. I've been offered these incredible opportunities that I want to take advantage of. I'd never played Warframe, but I knew so much about Warframe because there are loads of games that I haven't played, but I still consume a lot of the media around them. So I will go on YouTube and I will watch retrospectives of particular Call of Duty games, or being like, is Spec Ops: The Line still good? I love that sort of thing. And Warframe is one of these, to me, these curiosities that I have studied outside on YouTube and watched Skill Up talk constantly about it. And I said to Reb, I was like, oh my God, I remember watching the No Clip documentary about Warframe, and it felt like this incredible entity that immediately I thought, I'd love to be a part of that franchise. Do I know it intimately? No, but I recognize that I want to do its service to the people that genuinely care about it. And it would be an honor to kind of like be a part of a community that is so passionate about it, because I know that communities who are passionate about stuff can be so giving and caring to the people who are also who understand the responsibility that they've been given. I don't want to march in here and be like, I know everything about Warframe and I'm better than you and I'm whatever. And
Or
I'm
like
not.
pretend like I'm such a veteran. I've been playing every
And
update, like-
I'm really not. But what I am really fortunate to have experienced doing stuff in Final Fantasy and other franchises that I'm going to kind of go on to do after this as well, is that you just have to recognize that the people love it should be allowed to love it in the way that they want to love it.
Yeah.
And if I can do anything to help them love it more, that's the coolest thing. I am not a spokesperson for any franchise, but I hope that like I can be a vector through which the thing that you enjoy, you can enjoy even more than you did before.
I've said this to you like privately, like what you became for Final Fantasy 16, you couldn't pay for. Like you couldn't get a better. You say you're not a spokesperson, but you couldn't get a better like kind of icon
Hello.
for the franchise than that. And I think fans can see that because there's been a lot of instances where actors have came in, and particularly big mainstream actors have came in and they'll appear at the events and stuff like that, but after that they're like, oh yeah, that little video game thing you did. But I think it's very authentic that because you are such a gamer, you understand kind of what people want. Like if you were to meet the actors of your favorite games, you act like you would want them to act.
That's what I do because I understand that every single interaction that you have with every single interaction that I've ever had with an important person, I will remember.
Yeah.
And I recognize that even though I don't think particularly highly of myself, I know that some people do. And so I have to, even if I'm really, really tired or if I'm, irritated from an interaction that I've had outside of that, I have to make sure that people feel like this moment is meaningful because in their minds they built it up. And in doing so, it makes the moment meaningful for me. And it's cool. It's really, really cool to get to do this. I don't take it for granted. I'm trying to be as present as possible and take it all in, but I'm very fortunate that kind of loads of cool shit's happening.
Yeah.
It's kind of overwhelming. I'm here with you in Canada celebrating a game in which there's going to be 3,000 people attending a convention in which there's going to be pictures of a character that I play everywhere. That's not normal.
Yeah.
I've heard this word humbling being thrown around. I'm going, it's not humbling. It's the opposite of humbling. It's like, it's mad. It's so silly. And you're trying to square that in your head that there are going to be thousands of people, probably hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people see the demo, that my voice is all over. That's a weird thing.
Yeah, I can imagine. So it's like, I remember the first time we met for the 16 preview and you talking about how it's like the first kind of time that you were like publicly shown as like the face of Clive and stuff like that, and how mad it is. Still feel as mad?
Yeah, it does. I've dissociated from it a little bit, because so much of my interactions are over the internet. When they happen in real life, I'm like, oh yeah, wow, that's a real person. It happened to me today. In fact, I got up really early and I went to the coffee shop. And I was about to queue up, and I turned around, and this woman, she just went, "Oh my God!" And I assumed, I went, "Oh, are you here for TennoCon?" And she went, "What?" And I was like, "Are you here for the event?" And she went, No. I work at a security company, and I'm just queuing for a coffee shop." And then she showed me her Final Fantasy 14 Warrior of Light. She showed me all of this stuff, and I feel what's been really great is that, like, the 14 community have kind of adopted me as well. Yeah. Which has been super, super neat. And I love being given stickers, and I love being shown people's Warrior of Lights and stuff. And that's the neat thing, is I feel like a cool uncle to the 14 community. Like, I'm technically not a part of it, but I pop in every now and again and buy people sweets. Like, hey, I went abroad somewhere. Do you want this surfboard? It's like, it's of no use to you, but you might want to use it.
They deserve it,
Yeah, I mean, I just love the passion that people have for it, and I think a lot of that is the same thing about Warframe, where I've had people come up to me and say, "I'm really, really excited for you to be a part of this community," and I feel so welcomed by them already. Hopefully they kind of like Arthur as much as I do. I think he's a cool dude.
You're going to be the belle of the ball tomorrow.
Am I going to be the belle of the ball?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple of debutantes coming out, and we're all going to be there. I feel like I'm one of the Bridgerton daughters. I feel
you should just stand next to your statue and be like,
I know.
That's me.
But I think that's the great thing, is that this isn't, as much as Arthur is there are other incredible characters that you get to see, and that's my favorite part of the demo.
Yeah.
Is when you see the team lined up.
Yeah.
That's the neat part, and you could hear everyone at that preview event that we saw, like people popping off at different characters saying, I recognize that and I recognize that, because it's what you know but reimagined in a different way, which is just pretty neat. So yeah, as much as I'm a part of it, I'm kind of like just boring Excalibur. Do you know what I mean? People want Mag, people want Volt, that sort of thing.
So we spoke for the first time at the start of the 16 press tour.
Yes.
We then spoke kind of in the middle of the release of the game, then the DLC, and now we're pretty much at the end. How do you reflect on the whole experience now, beyond what you've said previously about, obviously it's meant so much to you, like Final Fantasy specifically, but now that you're kind of on the other side of it, is there something that you think in regards to it that you didn't see while you were in the middle of it, or you couldn't like see the forest for the trees?
I was really unhappy, I think is genuine. Like it's like I was really unhappy, and I didn't realize how unhappy I was.
Oh really?
It was the coolest thing, and I think because all the cool was so loud.
Yeah.
All the cool was like primary colors, neon colors. I was getting all of these opportunities, and I missed the moments where I wasn't enjoying stuff. And now that the dust has settled, I'm able to recognize those moments where I was going, oh, cool, okay. So you didn't enjoy that as much, and these aspects that you didn't like. And it's like a sunny day, right? When it's sunny, a lot of the crap stuff doesn't matter as much because it's sun drenched.
Yeah.
You know, you could watch a murder happen in front of you and you're like, yeah, but it's a nice day. Oh my God.
Did you see a lot of murders during your time?
If anything, I saw too many murders happen. It's all the murders that I saw happen I didn't report. But I think now what I've learned is I've figured out to kind of maybe not to stress out as much as I did. I was really nervous that I would screw stuff up for people. To be so front-facing on a franchise in your first game, that's not normal. Yeah. It's not normal at all. And I felt very vulnerable. I felt lonely at times, even though I was surrounded by incredible people. Like all of those big emotions, because everything just felt so huge and so different from what I'd expected. But now I'm like, yeah, but it's cool. Yeah. I feel like Zen. Like, this is an awful thing. I feel like Thanos at the end of Infinity War. I'm like, yeah, now I rest. Like, no, I didn't erase half the universe, but I feel like I feel like I can go into this project and go into the next project knowing how to talk about them, knowing what to expect, knowing that I don't need to kind of work as hard and stress out about things.
You don't need to do absolutely everything that's asked of you.
I don't need to do everything, and I can say no to stuff now.
Not this podcast.
I tried to say no, you wouldn't let me.
I remember how we started, but come on now.
Also, I think I figured out who my friends are. I think. Yeah. At that beginning bit, I want to say yes to everything. I don't want to disappoint people. I really didn't want to disappoint people because I didn't want to be hated. Yeah. And I thought that if I said no to someone, then someone would hold that against me, and that is true. That has happened. People have done that. But I have learned that actually the power of no is very, very important, and it's about respecting your own peace. It's not about just like, if it doesn't work for me, then I'm not going to kind of go out of my way to do something.
We now have a break in the podcast for the Caffeine of Canada, provided to us by the wonderful Tatum, is an espresso shot now.
It is. It's probably quite. You do that, bend it like that. This is ASMR. Oh wow!
There we go.
You go.
Jesus Christ, that's powerful. Just knock it back.
I reckon we can knock those back.
Whole whack to Canada.
To Canada.
Jesus Christ! Wow, that went through my whole body instantly.
I love. Are you not an espresso drinker?
No, I'm an energy drink drinker. Monster, please sponsor the podcast eventually.
Do you want Monster to sponsor you?
I would love Monster to sponsor.
Why Monster? Why Monster in particular?
Because I spend a lot of money on Monster, drinking them day to day, and I think I don't know who they're owned by, if they're owned by bad people or whatever, but you would think that like a
but
game,
you wouldn't care.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I've got a role to play in society, you know.
You do.
As a tastemaker. I would hope that one of the like gamer places would have sponsored us by now, like G Fuel or one of these places, but not a sniff, not interested.
Why's that?
I have no idea. Probably the things I say, probably the things I do. Not a good representative for any brand.
I think you're a very good representative for energy drinks.
Thank you. Well,
notice how I was going very small. You're like, oh, he's a great for energy drinks.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'll take him. It's not.
You always have a lot of energy.
No, I rarely do it. It's kind of, the energy drinks get me to a baseline. But before that, I'm just kind of, I'm kind of zen.
Do you want to delve into that?
Oh no, it's nothing bad. It's just I'm more slovenly, you know. I feel like the whole performance of like doing podcasts and stuff like that, because I was at the BBC previously, and they wanted like, so you're in your house and you're like a gamer recording your videos and stuff like that. Yeah. So you have to be like, oh, I'm angry about fucking microtransactions. This is terrible. When
you love microtransactions, you love surprise mechanics.
Capitalism is the name of the game. But yeah, in reality, I'm much more chill. My partner regularly makes fun of me because every single night at about 6 o'clock, I'll just fall asleep on the couch, just head down like an old man.
Are you a napper in the day?
Usually, have to be.
What time?
Honestly, at like 2 o'clock on the button, my whole body like goes like.
Is that directly after lunch?
Yeah, big time.
Have you thought of like testing out like what like your intolerances are to food?
No, but I probably should. I feel like if I
could be an iron deficiency.
The last time I went to the doctors, they were like, "It's against all odds, but you're actually fine." And I was like, "Okay, so all these problems are just self-inflicted at this point."
Yeah, I love it when doctors are just unnecessarily dramatic.
You're not actually on the verge of dying.
It's against all odds, but you're fine.
Broke down the door and ran in with my test results, like flapping them in the wind.
Yeah.
That is like.
Were you described as a medical marvel?
I've often been described a medical abnormality.
Yeah, great. Would you like me to remove this? Thank you, Timothy Horton.
Thank you, Tim Horton. They have like obviously Tim Hortons is the big Canadian thing.
Yes.
I've had some in the UK. I presume it's not the same stuff, but it's all right. You know.
Do you know that tastes a bit like a Pret a Manger?
Yeah.
Tastes a bit like.
What do you think about the Pret subscription getting cancelled?
I don't. I mean, it's if anything, what it shows you is subscription models don't work.
Yeah.
I think it's indicative of. We can get into it if you want, but like I mean, it's a lot. You know, I think you can see with the merging of big TV subscription models. It's almost like if it ain't broke. In other subscription models as well, you showed that actually it's quite difficult because it doesn't actually work as well as you think it is. Because
you set expectations for how much people will pay for something, and then when that doesn't actually result in the money that is needed to make this whole thing spin around, then things have to change.
Well, it was an experiment probably based on metrics that seemed impossible. Well, it seemed at the time possible, but actually, you know, all of this stuff was kicking off. Like every industry is kind of seemingly in decline at the moment because it's not exponentially growing like everyone thought we would. So there you go.
Games journalism's fine though, mate. Not a problem.
Yeah, no, congratulations on still having your job. I'm thrilled for you.
Well, you know, if Andy sees this, you know.
Miss you, Andy.
Yeah, he'll be about. He's going to Japan in a couple of weeks. So.
Is he?
Chris is currently in Japan at Bet Summit, which VGC is a proud partner of. And then Andy's just going on holiday. He says he's going on holiday. Guaranteed he'll post a picture on Twitter, like, just having drinks with the guy that directed Star Fox or something like that, because he just knows people. People take him down little back alleys.
He does know people. Yeah. He sends me messages every now and again. There's like name drops.
Yeah. He's big on a name drop.
He loves a name drop.
He just... Yeah, at the Game Awards last year, I woke up to an image of him and Lucy James kicking about with the Remedy crew after, because I'm such an Alan Wake stan, such a Sam Lake stan.
Them's good games.
Yeah, he does make good games, that Sam boy.
I loved the DLC.
Yeah.
I thought it was completely joyful. It was exactly what I needed.
I look forward to the second part of it.
Yeah, I think they've done really well. Alan Wake 2 was one of my favourite games of last year. I think it was a very, very special game.
You'd do well in a Remedy game, I think. Although you're not finished, so that might be a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
because you could maybe learn Finnish, or you could do, because the guy that voices Alan Wake isn't the guy that does the body for him. So maybe it could be a body or be a voice, get a different body.
Well, I mean, I know a couple of people who aren't Finnish who are in those. Christina Cole, who plays Alan Wake's wife, Alice Wake. Played Annabella in Final Fantasy 16, and I know a lot of people at Remedy. They're very, very cool, including Samantha Lake herself. So they are. like a lot of devs, I think, like this last year was really cool because I think the awards circuit probably got quite exhausting for a lot of people. But the great thing is it was devs who were really human were being celebrated.
Yeah.
And you could see that particularly in the way that kind of Larry and Remedy were doing the rounds. Like, they're just really approachable people who don't see themselves as like these higher beings that need to be worshipped in some way.
They just suddenly had the biggest game in the world. Like.
Yeah, they did. They had. I mean, obviously Larry had the biggest game in the world, but also like everyone at all these different ceremonies, they felt really approachable and neat and nice and humble. They felt humble. They didn't feel like. They felt like this success was in some way surprising to them because they made something that they loved, not something that they expected to be successful.
Yeah.
And you really felt that the whole time. And there was this real kind of joy and love at all the ceremonies. If whoever was winning what award, it was like, congratulations, you deserve it, because everyone felt like they did. It was just a celebration of a great year of games that had been made. And I think with the backdrop to the increasingly bad layoffs, it was like, let's celebrate the people who made these games, because actually we're kind of keep losing people. And it was maybe that juxtaposition of great games and trying to cling on to a sense of humanity at the same time, that everyone felt, let's actually just be nice to each other. Yeah. So these ceremonies were like, hey, yeah, let's be nice. Let's be nice to each other, because actually we could be gone tomorrow.
Yeah. Tatum, how long have we got left? 15? Okay, right. We've got stuff to get through. First of all,
God.
Expedition 33.
Yes.
That's your voice in the trailer.
That is my voice in the trailer.
I told you. I knew it immediately.
You
I
did.
felt like I woke up from a dream. I was like,
you text me and you were like, that's you in the trailer. And I was like, I cannot possibly confirm or deny.
As if you've not got the most Ben Starr voice in the world, and you're doing the Ben Starr voice.
I'm doing the Ben Starr voice, yeah.
What can you say about it?
I can say that it's a very cool game and it's coming in 2025.
Yeah.
I feel super lucky to have been involved in the announcement of that game. I was texting Guillaume, the creative director of Soundfall, and he was overwhelmed by the response. You can see it. There's a video that they posted on their Twitter of everyone watching it, and I think it went better than they could possibly have imagined, the response to it. Like, I love RPGs. From what I've seen of it.
Do you?
I do. Spoiler alert. And to be able to be a part of, in whatever capacity I'm a part of this game. Like I don't want to piss anyone off. To be a part of this game is really, really, really neat, and I feel super, super lucky. It's something that I've been excited to reveal for a while. And I think what was so surprising about that announcement is new IP is hard to come by. New IP that people believe in, and new IP that kind of looks like that. And it feels familiar but risky, even though it shouldn't be. Yeah, I think it's going to be a neat game.
Yeah, I think any trailer that can make that big a splash in the same conference as like the Gears reboot, like it's really something. But there's an audience out there for that stuff. There's RPG heads are out there, and I think sticking you on it is a real kind of seal of approval.
Yeah, that's lovely. It's lovely that me being involved will be a seal of approval, but it's again a surreal experience for me to see something that looks like that and then hear my voice over the top. I was like, that's cool. Yeah. That's cool, and I can't wait for people to learn more. And I think when people do learn more, they will be more and more excited about what this game can be for them.
Allegedly your voice, we couldn't possibly comment.
I mean, it is definitely my voice in the trailer. We've confirmed that.
Confirmed. Yeah,
I'm playing all the characters in Expedition 33. That's confirmed.
Keep talking. This is still news.
Yeah, you just clip that. Ben Starr confirms.
This is the best thing about having you as a mate, is that if I need a news line, I can just message you and be like, can you just make something up? That would really
playing
suit me
all the characters.
Okay, we have a mountain of questions from the VGC Maniacs. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
Let me get them over here. I'm a professional journalist, you know. I'm not just some clown. Ben Starr asks, what's your favourite swear word?
We've already discussed that, and I can't say it on here.
You can now. We're late enough in for YouTube.
I'm not going to say it because I don't want to say it. Okay. Let's. I'm not going to say, but it's the one that it's the one that I called you.
Yeah, it's the proper one. Your favourite goat?
Mountain goat.
Nice. Okay. Theme park?
This is. I mean, even though I asked myself this question, this is because like historically, my favorite theme park is Alton Towers.
Hell yeah, Alton Towers. Best ride?
Nemesis.
Yeah. Have you been on the new one?
It's called Nemesis Reborn or something.
It's I think it's the same ride. They've just retracted it.
I did a really nerdy thing, and I watched a side by side of the old Nemesis and the new Nemesis from the front point of view, and it is the same ride, but it's a little bit. You get like 2 seconds longer on it. I had a layover in North Carolina, and I went to Carowinds theme park. And I mainlined 8 roller coasters back to back.
Nice.
In 3 hours, 2 hours. Yeah. I was sick by the end.
Good.
When I tell you, Carowinds is a top tier theme park. They had something called a Giga coaster, and when I tell you, that coaster was very much a Giga.
Because that's the thing about American theme parks is people think Disney, and Disney isn't really a roller coaster place.
No.
Whereas you go to Alton Towers to get like your back adjusted. Do you watch Expedition Theme Park on YouTube?
No, what's that?
You need to look it up. He does these documentaries about like all the Alton Towers rides and stuff like that. It's unbelievable. You have to look that up. Expedition Alton Towers, like he does one about the Smiler and all this stuff like that. So
it's the one where someone died on the Smiler, right?
No, they got
trapped. They got their leg amputated or whatever.
Yeah. Dodgy.
I haven't been on the Smiler.
I have. It's amazing. Like,
Is it?
It's such a good ride, but obviously, I feel like that happening like added to the whole mystique of it because it's so rare to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
do you remember how like revolutionary Oblivion was when it first? Like that is.
They didn't. The first time I went on it, they had like the "Don't Look Down." They
Yeah.
don't do that anymore because the local council complained that it was causing people to scream too much, and because people live in Alton, that's why the rides can't go above the tree level because mad Tories live in Alton. Like, do you remember the Oblivion shower gel that they had?
Did they have shower gel?
Yeah.
I just remember there was a great KFC early days in Alton Tower, like in that area, and the space, like because they had the black hole in that area, which used to be my favorite one, and then they added Oblivion. I'm trying to think what other like. Is Air still called Air, or have they renamed it? I feel like they've renamed it.
They renamed it. It's like they did something with VR in it for a while,
Right.
but yeah, when it was Cadbury's Air, that's when it was proper. Like,
Yeah, it was good. Sorry.
favorite time of day?
My favorite time of day is like 5 p.m.
Yeah.
The potential of the evening, reflecting on the day before, the day of. Or then sometimes like cheeky 2 a.m. I love. Sometimes stolen hours.
I like an 8 p.m. when I think it's 10. When it's like it's earlier when you think it is, it's like, oh yeah, I've got like this whole night to myself.
Interestingly, 8 p.m. makes me feel I find 8 p.m. unnerving.
Yeah.
Because I should have started a film by now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, is it too late to start a film? So like 7, I'm like, we're still good to go. 5, I have an hour to make plans. So that's why I'm just kind of in that.
We're actually so self-obsessed. Not taking one question from an actual fan yet. Okay, let's go for. Greg, how does it feel? How do you feel about the global blue screen happening the day before the Warframe 1999 presentation?
I think it's an incredible marketing beat on behalf of the world, considering what it's about. We'll know afterwards whether it all goes to shit or not. But I believe in the team at Digital Extreme, so you'll be fine.
Amanda Clive Rossfield Kennedy Thornbear asks, would you do a Final Fantasy 16 movie if there was one?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah.
Who would you play?
In Final Fantasy 16, I'd like to play like when they do like so whoever plays Clive Rossfield, so it'll be like someone really cool and famous. It'd probably be like by that point it'll be Timothy Chalamet. It's like beefed up on roids. I'd be like one of those beggars that they'd throw a coin to.
Good.
And I'd be like, "Thank you, sir."
And then everyone in the audience,
yeah. I want to do that thing where like they'd lean over and people go, "That's the person who plays Clive in the game." Yeah. That's what I want to be. That thing that people find really annoying. So yeah, a little beggar.
I appreciate that. Would you rather buy a T-shirt for $24.99 with free shipping or $19.99 with $4.99 shipping?
Free shipping.
Okay.
Always free shipping. That is like, I don't like put it in one. I don't like extra costs on top. Just put it as one. It's a bit like my fiance always goes, "Can I ask a favor of you?" And I always say, "Don't say that. Just ask me. Just ask the favor." So like I'm gonna do it, but don't give it to me in 2 parts. Ask the thing of me and be more direct. Don't be like it's $19.99 plus shipping. That's a lie. It's $24.99.
Yeah. I tend to agree. It also feels like the product is worth more. So like, yeah, I think that works. Ray asks, favorite non-Sonic Sonic character?
That's a really good question. I think I'm a Knuckles fan.
Yeah.
I just like the design.
You're built like Knuckles as well.
I'm built like Knuckles.
Yeah, I've often said that.
Yeah.
I'm the Tails to your Knuckles. I'm just a little guy.
Would you be Tails?
Probably Shadow because I'm edgy. No, I'm Big the Cat. Like, you know, personality-wise.
Because Knuckles is an echidna, isn't it? Yeah. Badass.
You know Tails' real name?
What?
Miles per hour. His name is Miles Tails Prower. It's Miles per hour.
It's always not. Isn't the English language fun?
Yeah, it's good. Best language on earth. That's why we took over the world.
Okay. You're not going to get me to agree with that. Other languages are also good.
Cut that out. I'm editing this. I don't know who I'm speaking to. Joshua Ford asks, do you and the Nat 6 crew intend in doing one-shots or short campaigns in the system other than D&D? I would pay so much to see y'all play Call of Cthulhu or even the FFXIVTT RPG.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we're doing our Reliquia campaign at the moment, which we love, and you're going to see more of that as time goes on. But we want to do more things, and yeah, why not? We're game for doing one shots and stuff. But we just wanted to kind of get this campaign, which the reason it even exists is people giving us the money to fund that. So we want to service those people who've been really kind and supported us. So, but yes, we are up for lots of things and playing in that space and learning different TTRPG systems and games.
I've watched that stuff, and it's deeply unfortunate when you see people do something that you wish you could get into, but your pals just wouldn't commit. That's why I feel like I used to be a theatre kid back in the day. Did a lot of youth theatre, but then fell away from it. And when I see my theatre people and we do bits, it's fantastic. But then when I see my friends that aren't up for doing bits and I want to do a bit, it's tragic.
That's really sad.
It's difficult.
Do you want to play TTRPGs?
I would like to play a TTR.
Why can you not just get a group of people to do it? There you go. It's too much work. I can see it in your mind.
Or I play 8-a-side football, and trying to get enough people to do that once a week is challenging. Getting nerds to commit to stuff, impossible. There needs to be a financial incentive. So if you want to give me money to do it, that'd be pretty sick.
That's how it works.
Yeah, that's the only reason you started it.
Well, look, we don't make any money from it. It costs a huge amount because
the production is sick.
Yeah, I mean that is double jump for you. They do an amazing job, but that's where our money goes. We do it because we love it, but again, it's like fortunately the people who make it, we just have some incredibly organized people whose literal job is to organize people to do stuff.
Weird full circle. Talked about Larian. When I went to play the Divinity board game, it was Aoife that ran our session.
Aoife Wilson.
Yeah,
it's great. We've got a bit of a cool gang of people now on it, and yeah, Aoife works at Larian now. She's the video communications director or something. I can't remember what the title is, but yeah, she's very good at her job, and
cool
also
people.
Just a cool nerd. She's a cool
That's
nerd.
what it says on our name badge. Writing on Games, famous YouTuber.
Yeah. Can I just say, I just think I've been watching Writing on Games for years. I think his stuff is so good.
It's infuriating.
It's infuriatingly good. It's just please go. I mean, I imagine the crossover is massive. You probably already do watch his stuff, but great video game analysis. I have been watching his stuff for
I was in his bedroom about 2 weeks ago.
Great.
That's the inside scoop that you need to know.
Great.
Very dusty.
Was he there?
He was. He has a massive monitor, like a ridiculously large monitor. He's doing all his music stuff. Pathetic, talented boy. Diet Coke or Pepsi Max?
Neither.
Neither?
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm generally not a cola fan, but I'm going to go and say this. It would be Pepsi Max because I don't have any skin in the game. But the idea of Diet Coke makes me want to be a little bit sick.
Yeah.
Have I upset you?
No, I'm not a diet. I think the whole Diet Coke revolution. It's like, oh, we're going to have the people that call it DC. Honestly, I want to kick them out.
I know a lot of people that love a DC and they call it a DC. I'll just give me a full fat Coke.
Yeah.
Give me a full fat Coke. If you're trying to give me versions of it, I don't know what a Coke Zero is. I feel like it's all bad for you.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna go.
You want some stuff that's good for you, like a Monster Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monster Energy.
Okay, two more.
What's the tagline for Monster Energy? You must know this. You're trying to get them on your show?
No, I know. Well, I've tried to get Johnny Monster on the show. It's something to do with ripping, but we often read out like the Unleash the Beast. It's Unleash the Beast.
Okay, right.
It's Unleash the Beast. Sorry, Monster.
Monster Energy. Unleash the Beast. There you go.
Pay me for that.
This podcast is sponsored by. This podcast is sponsored by Monster Energy. It's good for you all of the time. You don't need a diet version. You need just the full fat version. It comes in like how many flavors? Thousands of flavors.
Yeah,
delicious flavors. You can have 5 of them at the time and you'll be completely fine. Monster's delicious. Don't be a loser.
I like how the longer you did that, you're like, I'm just going straight into the Ben Starr voice.
Yeah. Because I don't want people to think I'm genuinely endorsing Monster
I'm going to
Energy.
clip that exclusively.
Yeah.
When I was in Uniqlo the other day with my lovely partner, they had some of the FF16 T-shirts.
I sometimes just loiter around the T-shirts hoping someone will recognise me.
And I said, that's Final Fantasy 16. And she went, oh, is that your pal Ben's game? And I was like,
yeah, I made the whole thing.
Yes, he did it. Okay, 2 more. First, Walkers or McCoys?
I feel like McCoys are higher quality than Walkers.
McCoys rip your mouth to bits, though.
Exactly. So that's why I would say that, like, because of the, I feel like there's a more diverse range of Walkers available. I don't want to limit that. So I do love Walkers prawn cocktail crisps. Call me crazy, but I do love them.
Okay, final cue. Ashley Schofield says, would you ever like to see Clive in Smash Brothers or a fighting game similar?
Why the hell not?
Yeah?
Why the hell not? Yeah, sure. Let's go.
You could do some fun lines for that.
What would I do?
Give me like when the 2 characters line up together and it's like, I'm going to kill you. Clive's response would be,
No, you're not.
There we go. Don't know why I'm not your agent. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I'll
good
run
stuff.
lines with you.
Yeah. Well,
in the
okay.
future.
So if I ever get in a fighting game, you can take 25%. 25%
25% of the whole game?
of the
or
whole game.
Just
yeah.
your part?
No, you can take the whole game.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Well, that's official. I'm glad that it's been recorded under Canadian law.
Yep.
Well, Ben, I feel like if we were allowed, we would just sit here for the rest of the day talking absolute shite.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I hope you have a nice time at TennoCon.
Yeah, I'm gonna be following you about and going, oh my god, are you Ben Starr? Are you Ben Starr from the Final Fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you Ralph Ineson? Are
Yeah.
you the man himself?
Yeah. Galactus himself.
God, I know this.
Yeah.
I'm going to be.
That's
sitting
cool,
in this,
isn't it?
It is. I'm going to be sitting in this. Originally, when I played Final Fantasy, I was like, "Huh, that's Finchy." Now, when I'm sitting watching Fantastic Four, I'm going to go, "That's Sid."
That's Sid. Yeah. That was what you. Yeah, I remember you texting me being like, "I can't get over the fact that like Finchy's in this."
And that is the real quiz. Okay, we're going to get out of here. Thank you for watching / listening to VGC the Video Game Podcast. Thank you to the wonderful Ben Starr.
Thank you.
Next time we're in London, we'll get you into the studio again, and we'll. Because whenever I say you're on the show, I get 40,000 questions. Because it's honestly getting to the point where we just need to do a question show. But
We should do, but we know we won't.
oh yeah, we're
Because we spent most of the time just answering the questions that I asked myself.
talking about Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Well, that is very much VGC, the Video Game Podcast. Until next time, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Say goodbye, Ben.
Goodbye, Ben.
And we'll see you next time.